Welcome to Sheriff on Vibe, the place for travel tips, news, deals, recreational activities, otherwise called fun. Now it's a brand new year, and there's some amazing changes that have been happening in the world of Disney. And I have our food blogger friend who continues to update us with all that's new and all that's coming to Disney Orlando. And this year is really gonna hit the charts at being tops with all the new stuff, including the entire rebuilding, or we shouldn't even say rebuilding, because Star Wars is going to be building not only a hotel but a whole attraction, immersive activity for all of you Star Wars lovers. But hey, my friend AJ, she'll tell you all about it. So sit tight, because with Disney, you're going for an amazing ride. Take a look.
AJ from Disney Food Blog, and today we're going to do a video that I think is going to be really helpful for a lot of you planning trips to Walt Disney World. I hope it is. This is a bunch of changes that have recently happened or that are happening soon that are going to affect your trip to Walt Disney World this year, next year, and even the following year. This is changes in budgetary issues, changes to restaurants, changes to hotels, lots of other very big deal updates that you definitely need to know about. So let's get started. First up, Be Our Guest restaurant has gone signature for dinner. This is one of the most popular restaurants in Walt Disney World. It's in the Magic Kingdom. It's in the Beast's Castle. Very hard to get a reservation here for dinner, but it's gone signature now. That means it's 2 Disney Dining Plan credits for your dinner. Breakfast and lunch are still counter service credits and still quick service, considered quick service, which means fast food in Disney speak. But dinner is very fancy now, and it is signature. It is a prefix meal, which means you get to choose from a set menu, and it is $55 for adults and $35 for children all the time, or 2 Disney Dining Plan credits. So at Be Our Guest for dinner now, there's going to be chicken and shrimp, beef tenderloin, mac and cheese with black diamond cheddar on the kids menu. Lots of good eats, lots of good options, but it is questionable whether it's worth that 2 dining plan credits. It's questionable whether it's worth that $55 price tag. I think it probably is if you get filet mignon, if you get a fancy escargot appetizer, but that is something to keep in mind definitely before you head over to Disney World and make that dining reservation. Don't forget, you can make your advanced dining reservations 180 days in advance. So that means 6 months in advance. So if you're planning to go to Disney World in the next 6 months, you have to get on the horn now to make that dining reservation. And if you're going later this year, next year, put a dot on your calendar for that 180 days in advance to make that dining reservation at Be Our Guest if you want to have dinner there. By the way, we have a full review of that Be Our Guest dinner, the brand new signature dinner, over on Disney Food Blog right here. You can check it out. Next up, Disney Springs updates. You guys know, if you watch the channel, there have been lots of updates to Disney Springs. Used to be Downtown Disney, and now it's called Disney Springs, and there are lots of different areas, dozens of new restaurants, new shops, etc. And there are a couple that are coming soon as well. Jaleo is coming soon, and that is Jose Andres. It is going to be a Spanish restaurant. We're thinking paella, wood-fired, wood-grilled meats. It's the first Florida location for Jaleo, and there are 5 locations in the United States and Mexico City. Right now there's no opening date for this, but they're still expecting it to open by late 2018. Also coming soon is the NBA experience. This is taking over the space that was Disney Quest, and I know a lot of you are missing Disney Quest greatly. That video game kingdom is now gone, and NBA experience is coming in. This is a basketball themed shopping and dining location, so there will be a basketball themed restaurant. There will be interactive experiences, interactive games and competitions. That one is scheduled to open summer 2019. And then Wolfgang Puck Bar and Grill is coming as well. With the opening of Jaleo, 2 of the Wolfgang Puck locations closed, and so we're going to have a new Wolfgang Puck restaurant coming. It says late 2018, but again, you never really know. Next up, another change to Walt Disney World that might update or change your plans is the Festival of the Arts. Everybody knows about the Epcot Food and Wine Festival, and the Flower and Garden Festival has been gaining popularity as well, but they have also introduced the Festival of the Arts, which is 2 years old now. This is the festival that happens in January and February in Epcot. There's lots of great food, really exceptional food. There are lots of artists displaying their wares and also doing artwork right there in Epcot that you can watch. So if you have a budding artist or someone in your life who loves loves art, definitely head over to Festival of the Arts in January and February. Also, FYI, that's a really good time to go to Disney World. The weather's great, the crowds are low, so keep Festival of the Arts in your plans if you can. All right, there are a few changes to the resorts that we need to tell you about. First up, several of the resorts are pet friendly now, and what that means is that you can actually bring your dogs with you to the resorts. Fort Wilderness, Yacht Club, Port Orleans Riverside, and Art of Animation are noted as being pet friendly. Now, here's a quick FYI. We've heard recently that they were going to discontinue this test program, but then that seems to have been very quietly rescinded, and that the program's going to continue. So if you are interested in taking your pet to Walt Disney World, you may be able to do that. Just definitely call the resort ahead of time and make sure that the program is still happening, that pet-friendly program is still happening when you want to take your furry friend with you to Walt Disney World. Next up in the resorts, there's a few changes to the resort rooms themselves. Several of the hotels are being renovated and laminate floors are being put in place of the carpets. So these include Pop Century, Coronado Springs, Copper Creek Villas over there at Wilderness Lodge, Disney's Old Key West, the cabins at Fort Wilderness, Boardwalk Villas, Beach Club Villas, and Boulder Ridge Villas at Wilderness Lodge. So these are just some of the resorts that are putting those laminate floors in one by one. Some of those renovations are still going on, but if you are a fan of carpet, be sure not to stay in those resorts, and if you're a fan of laminate or wood flooring, be sure to stay in those resorts. Just a heads up, that's some good planning for you if you are booking perhaps with someone with allergies who might do better in a laminate floor or wood floor room or something like that. These can come in handy. But if you're like me and you want to put your feet on carpet in the morning, then, book one of the other resorts. Another change to the hotel rooms recently is that the clocks have been taken out of Disney World hotel rooms. There's no longer those digital clocks there. I think what they experience is that most people just use their phones as clocks and that the clocks never read the right time anyway. And then they kept, making the alarm go off and the people hadn't really set the alarm. The previous people had set the alarm. And anyway, clocks are gone. No more clocks in Walt Disney World rooms. So that's just a heads up. I will often travel with a little travel alarm clock and put that up because, as you guys know, I'm always late for everything, so sometimes it's good for me to actually see how late I am. Next up, a few of the resorts are putting Murphy beds in the rooms instead of having 2 queen beds. So Pop Century is one of the resorts that's doing that. So if you go into a Pop Century renovated room, you will not only have a laminate floor, you will also have a regular queen bed and then a Murphy bed that can go up and down, and then the table is attached to the bottom of the Murphy bed. So that's kind of an interesting way to have a little extra space if you don't need that second bed, or if you can fold up that bed during the day, have a little extra space during the day, because those Pop Century rooms are a little bit tiny. So that will give you some extra space during the day. It's kind of handy. I really kind of like it. The beds are still high quality. They're still, they're still nice to sleep on. Don't worry about that. But that does kind of loosen up the room, give you a little more space. And also, another change that's happening in the resort rooms. Many of the renovated rooms are having bathtubs removed and walk-in showers are being put in. I've seen this at several of the resort rooms I've been staying in, Pop Century, Yacht Club. Many of the ones that they're putting those laminate floors in are also having their bathtubs removed. So this is an interesting update. I haven't really talked to any cast members about why they're doing this or what the benefit is when it comes to maybe having your kids with you and you need a bathtub for your kids, because a lot of kids don't take showers. So I don't know what the deal is. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on some of the rooms not having bathtubs any longer. And I'm not even just talking about handicap accessible rooms. These are all the rooms are having those bathtubs removed. So let me know your thoughts on that. If you have any insights, if you're a cast member and you know why they're doing that or which resorts are having that happen or how people can best ask for a room with a bathtub, definitely let us know. And another update for the resorts, as we know, we did a whole video on this, is the parking charges. Now, guests staying at the resorts do have to pay for parking at all of the Walt Disney World resorts. This was not the case a few months ago, but now that change is in place and all Disney World overnight guests do have to pay for parking in their resorts. We've got a whole video on it with information and pricing and everything right here. You can check that out, but it's something that you need to know about. If you're planning a trip in the next couple years, you definitely need to prepare for those parking charges and decide whether or not you want to bring your personal car with you. All right, right, another one that has to do with the hotels. You can now open your room door with your phone, believe it or not. If you book a Walt Disney World hotel and you check in online, you may get, and this is for most of the hotels right now, you may get a little notification that says you can now open your hotel room door with your phone, with this phone, which is pretty cool, except when it doesn't work, which, happens once in a while. So always have your Magic Band with you just in case, so that you can open the door with your Magic Band if your phone's not working. But this is something that you should be able to do going forward now, and most Disney World resorts. Speaking of Magic Bands, that's another change I want to let you know about. If you haven't been to Disney World in a few years, or if you're heading for the first time, please be aware of the Magic Band system. This is called My Disney Experience. It's an app that you can get on your phone, and it's also online. If you go to the disneyworld.com website, there'll be a little thing up in the corner that says My Disney Experience. You can click on it, and you will see all of your personal plans for your trip. So your tickets and your resort information, your fast passes, your dining reservations, etc. And again, all of this translates over to the app as well when you log in on the My Disney Experience app. But all of this is tied to your Magic Band. This is a little wristband that you wear that is RFID encoded. Everywhere you go, that Magic Band serves as your park ticket, your fast pass, your credit card, your room key, your dining plan. It identifies everything that you've paid for or done Disney-wise. Now, if you don't want to use your Magic Band, you should be able to be issued a regular room key. You should be able to just pay with your credit card or cash or gift cards, so you don't have to use your Magic Band. You should be able to transfer everything over to a little credit card / room key. But just a heads up, that Magic Band is really, really useful and helpful. I love leaving the room in the morning and all I need is my Magic Band. It has everything on it that I need. There's been a lot of controversy about how much information Disney has about you based on your Magic Band. That's another video, that's another topic, but feel free to let us know what you think in the comments. Okay, as you know, one of my favorite changes and updates is the addition of minivans. We've talked about these on the channel before. These are actual minivans that are decorated like Minnie Mouse, that are operated by the ride-sharing service Lyft, but the drivers of all of these minivans are Disney cast members, and usually longtime Disney cast members who know the area well and know exactly how to get you where you need to go as quickly as possible. So these minivans can be booked through the Lyft app, and pretty much any hotel you stay at now, you can go in there and activate the minivan service on your Lyft app. These are $25 per ride anywhere on Disney property. They have 2 really, really nice car seats included that you can use for your kiddos. And like I said, they'll take you anywhere. It's something I love about minivans is that they will pick up and drop off at the Magic Kingdom bus stop. And if you have done Lyft or Uber from the Magic Kingdom before, you know that you have to go all the way to the Transportation and Ticket Center to get a regular Lyft or a regular Uber ride or a taxi ride. So minivans are one of the quickest ways to get to the Magic Kingdom and out of the Magic Kingdom ever. I mean, it's really, I use them all the time because I'm late for everything. But that's really the fastest way to get to and from the Magic Kingdom if you're going for an early reservation, if you're late for something, or if you leave the Magic Kingdom and the bus lines are crazy and the monorail lines are crazy and you just want to get out of there, book yourself a minivan. All right, something else to keep an eye out for is if you do your photo pass on the rides, there may be a video included now. As you know, once you get off a ride that does have a photo pass kind of ride picture, run your Magic Band against the little Magic Band reader underneath the pictures, and it'll automatically go onto your My Disney Experience. And some of them might have videos now, which is really, really fun. So that's a really cool way to kind of send back to your family a fun little video of your experience at Walt Disney World. Something else to be aware of, this is nothing you can do about this, but this will definitely affect your trip to Walt Disney World anytime you go in the future. Disney has committed to reducing plastic waste in their parks by reducing the use of plastic straws. They are going to start using refillable amenities in the bathrooms in the resorts, and they are also going to cut back on the use of plastic bags. So just stay aware, be aware that that's going to happen. If you don't like using refillable amenities in your shower in the resorts, bring your own amenities, bring your own shampoo, conditioner, body wash, things like that, because those have already started being put into the resort showers. And in terms of straws, we still are seeing straws in the parks, but if you are interested in using straws on your trips next year, be sure to either bring your own or bring a reusable straw. There's a lot of stainless steel straws that are sold. You can grab them on Amazon, and so you can just bring your own straws that you can reuse while you're there.
Now, some of you reached out and have said to me, hey AJ, I have a disability, I need to use a straw. And Disney has said that if people have disabilities or need to use a straw, they will have straws available for them.
Okay, this is something that's been affecting trips now and will continue to affect trips for a while, is the road construction and the road changes in Walt Disney World. Pretty much everywhere you drive in Disney World, you're going to see serious construction on the roads. A lot of this is based on changes that they're making to the road structure for Magic Kingdom's 50th anniversary coming up, and of course for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. There's a lot being built, the Skyliner's being built, a lot of stuff is being constructed in Walt Disney World right now. And so there's a lot of upheaval and uproar when it comes to construction and all of the updates to the roads and the infrastructure in Walt Disney World. So be prepared for that, especially if you drive your own car, that will cause a few workarounds and a few updates to what you might be used to. Next up, security and bag checks. Security has been ramped up significantly in the past couple of years in Walt Disney World. A few years ago, you maybe had to go through a metal detector once in a while. The bag checks have been at the parks for a while, and so you may be used to that. But now it's gotten to the point that you pretty much have to go through a metal detector nearly every time you go into a park. And before you get onto the monorail, you will also have to go through security. So be prepared for that. That's where I've seen it be the biggest issue, is when I'm catching a monorail to head into Magic Kingdom, that I need to go through security before I get on the monorail. So plan ahead for that. That is going to take a little bit of time because those lines do get long, especially if people are headed out in the morning to the park. That line's going to be long to go through security. And of course, when you get to any park now, you do have to go through a full bag check, and often you will have to go through a metal detector as well. So just plan ahead. It's going to take some extra time. Don't cut it too close for your dining reservation or your fast pass in the park, because you will have to spend some time going through security before you get there. The next big change you've got to know about for your Disney World trip is Toy Story Land. Toy Story Land is officially open. We have a whole video about it right here. That is in Disney's Hollywood Studios. Great place for your kiddos to go. If you like mid-range roller coasters, that's what Slinky Dog Dash is all about. A lot of fun. You definitely want to log some time at Toy Story Land. So get your fast passes ahead of time. Get them 60 days in advance if you can, 30 days in advance if you have to. But grab those fast passes and make sure to spend some time in Toy Story Land. All right, now we're going to talk about a few things that are coming up soon. We're going to do another whole video for you about things that are coming up, but I wanted to talk about these here because they are going to affect your trips in this year and next year. So first, the Skyliner. We mentioned this quickly before. This is going to be a gondola ride, basically. It's going to take you from several resorts to parks. So it's going to run between resorts in Epcot and resorts in Hollywood Studios. Pop Century, Art of Animation, Caribbean Beach. These are all included in the Skyliner. And this is a kind of a controversial project, so let us know in the comments what you guys think. Are you excited about the Skyliner? Do you think it's not a good idea? I can't wait to hear what you have to say. I think it's really good to hear that feedback for Disney's plans. This one is supposed to be open for Galaxy's Edge, opening in late 2019. Some rumors are indicating summer of 2019 because it seems to be progressing quickly, so we'll see when that gondola Skyliner opens. And of course, Galaxy's Edge. Galaxy's Edge is the Star Wars land that's coming to Disney's Hollywood Studios in late 2019. This is going to have 2 brand new rides and a couple of dining locations, including, we're thinking, a dinner show. So there's going to be a lot to do in Galaxy's Edge, especially for die-hard Star Wars fans. It's going to be awesome. You guys, I don't even know how they're going to manage the crowds when this opens. It's going to be unbelievable. Just a heads up, it's opening in Disneyland next summer as well. So you're going to have 2 Star Wars lands on either coast to go to. So yay, but definitely plan ahead for that. You guys, fall of 2019, it's going to open. So if you're planning a trip in 2019, you're a huge Star Wars fan, you may postpone it till the end of the year instead of going at the beginning of the year. And also know that the crowds will be pretty overwhelming whenever that opens, so be prepared for that. So if you're not a Star Wars fan, or if you're going with kiddos or it's your first trip, you may plan to go a little bit earlier in 2019 so that you can avoid those crowds. And along with Star Wars Galaxy's Edge will be a Star Wars hotel that's opening. We don't have an exact opening date for this. It could be 2019 or it could be a little bit later, but it's supposed to be an immersive experience that connects directly to Galaxy's Edge, so you can basically go straight from the hotel into Galaxy's Edge and back again. We don't know a lot of details about the hotel except that it will be very immersive. It will be like you're staying on a Star Wars ship. It's going to be incredible, and we can't wait to give you more information. But again, heads up, if you're a huge Star Wars fan, you may postpone and plan your trip for 2020 instead of 2019, so you can be sure to stay in that hotel. So there we go. There's a bunch of new information, a bunch of stuff that's coming to Walt Disney World that can really, really affect your plans, and a bunch of stuff that's already changed in Walt Disney World that changed in the last year that can really affect your plans. In case you haven't been there in the last 12 months, there's a lot of new and updated stuff to manage when you get there. So I hope this helps you with your planning. If you have any questions, be sure to ask us in the comments.